Good afternoon. On behalf of our team at the Regina District Industry Education Council, it is our pleasure to welcome Tanner Amyotte. Tanner is from Pepikas First Nation in Treaty 4 territory. Just a reminder before we begin that after you watch this presentation, please complete the survey found on our website at www.rdiec.ca. By completing this survey, you will automatically be entered to win a $50 gift certificate, which will be drawn for at the end of each month. Tanner currently works for the Finance Department as a financial clerk at File Hills Qu'Appelle Tribal Council, and he is also working towards his Chartered Professional Accountant designation. He is here today to talk about his journey, and we're going to turn it over to Tanner right away.
My name is Tanner Amyotte. I'm a Pepikas First Nation band member and currently work for File Hills Qu'Appelle Tribal Council as a financial clerk. Typically in my spare time, I would be playing volleyball, but because of COVID-19 and other restrictions, I'm at home studying to obtain my Chartered Professional Accounting designation or spending time with my girlfriend. In the picture, you'll see my dad and my mom. My dad is a carpenter and has his own business. My mom also works at the tribal council with me as an accountant. I have one brother, but he's not in this picture. He works for the Saskatchewan Rattlers basketball team as a manager of office administration. As mentioned before, I'm currently a financial clerk for FHQ Tribal Council. Working with the tribal council, I get to serve Indigenous communities and express my experience with financial accounting. Similar to any duties of any job, you review the employer's financial and administrative policies. This is to familiarize yourself with the responsibilities and authority that you have as an employee. When I first started with FHQ Tribal Council, I received hands-on training from my coworkers to understand the technical duties for submitting monthly statements to managers and putting general ledger adjustments, administering and processing payments, reconciling the general ledger, preparing bank deposits, and assisting in accounts payable and payroll related duties. Also, I review funding agreements and contracts to understand the financial reporting requirements or deadlines I need to meet to understand the program that is being funded and to determine the audience the tribal council needs to present their financial statements to. Out of university, I was offered an auditor position with the Provincial Auditor of Saskatchewan. And an auditor is different than a financial clerk in that the financial clerk is doing the technical duties for an employer, whereas an auditor assesses, evaluates, and verifies a client's financial information or a client's processes. Working for the provincial auditor, I was verifying our clients' financials using third-party information. So one example is that, say that one of our clients' financial reports indicates that they have $1 million in their bank account, we would send out a confirmation letter to the bank asking to tell us if they did actually have that amount in their account. If the bank stated that they didn't have $1 million in their bank account, then we would just have to report them on it. As an auditor, I had to assess and evaluate the client's processes to ensure that they followed policies, procedures, or accounting standards. So an example of this is, say a client had a policy stating that checks are over $1,000 need to be signed by 2 managers who have signing authority. We would review some of those checks over $1,000 to ensure that 2 people signed the checks and those 2 people have signing authority. The best part of my job is my coworkers and my boss. When I first started my job at the tribal council, my coworkers were helpful in providing me hands-on training. If I had any questions about my job or my duties, I could go to my coworkers or my boss for their help. We have an open door environment, so if we have our doors open, it means that we have time for someone to ask questions or feel free to come talk to us. We also like to keep things light in the office and laugh around. So last year for my boss's birthday, we blew up a bunch of balloons and filled his office. Lucky for us, our boss has a good sense of humor, so we didn't get punished for our little prank. One other thing is that my boss is very understanding. If any one of us is dealing with a personal or family issue, he will give us the time to go sort those issues out and worry about our work later. At the Travel Council, we have reporting deadlines that we have to meet for our programs. Since the Travel Council provides multiple programs and services, our financial services team reports to multiple managers and First Nations on a monthly, quarterly, and or annual basis. Our challenge as accountants is to meet those reporting deadlines and requirements. If we miss the deadlines or if we miss reporting requirements, our funding could get cut or delayed. One of the great things about being an accountant or an auditor is you get to know different fields in business. With the Travel Council, we have multiple departments like justice services, health services, education, sports and rec, and other services. We get to know the background information of all these fields, and it helps us understand our requirements and our job a little bit more. For salaries and benefits, I'm just looking at a couple of stats. So in Canada, the average salary for a financial clerk is around $45,000 per year. It can range from $31,000 to $56,000. Working for the Travel Council, I contribute to EI, an insurance plan, and a pension plan. I get covered for health and dental, so things like glasses, lenses, dental appointments, and other things that I haven't used yet, like massages. My work hours are 8:30 to 4:30, Monday to Friday. I get Saturdays and Sundays off, and 3 weeks of paid vacation per year. Depending on how many years you work for the Travel Council, your vacation days will increase. The average salary for an auditor is around $58,000 per year. It can range from $35,000 to $6 figures a year. How much you make as an auditor depends on your experience, your education, and your clients. Working for the provincial auditor, I contributed to the same things as I do with the Travel Council, and I have the same coverage for health and dental. When I did work for the provincial auditor, it was expected that you work 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday, but this also depends on your clients and your deadlines. Sometimes I would be working 10 hours days and sometimes on the weekend, but you do get 3 weeks of paid vacation per year, and this also depends on how many years you work for the provincial auditor. Both jobs, they were subject to flex time. So if I'm working 7 in the morning, I do have that option of working to 3 p.m. or 4 p.m. as long as my work gets done and I have no meetings for the rest of the day. If you work as an accountant or an auditor in Saskatchewan, your employer or your client typically has a fiscal year end date as of March 31st. So there's an unwritten rule that you won't be allowed to take vacation between April to July, because most of the employers, they need to have their financial statements audited by the end of July, and it's a busy time for both these fields. There is sometimes an exception that you will get to take some time off between these months, but yeah. As I mentioned before, I work 8:30 to 4:30 Monday to Friday and have the weekends off with the Travel Council. I typically don't have to work overtime unless it's audit season, and that's between April to July, or we have strict reporting deadlines coming soon, so we have to put in extra time for that. Even then, I'm able to complete my work within the 8:30 to 4:30 schedule, so work-life balance has not been an issue for me. I still have time to visit friends, family, play beach volleyball, or go golfing after work in the summers. To tell you a little bit more details about myself, I grew up in a small town called LeBret, and I graduated high school from Bird Box, which is located in Fort Capel, Saskatchewan. During my grade 12 year, I had all my friends and family ask me, what are you going to do after high school? I didn't have the answer at the time, but my mom was an accountant, and I took an accounting class in high school. Getting to see my mom's work and also taking that class made me aware that this was something I could do, and I could do well. Also in my grade 12 year, I remember getting an assignment that asked, what do you want out of your job? What do you want out of your career? I knew I wanted a job that allows me to travel, meet new people, is financially stable, and allows me to have that work-life balance. My mom said there's always going to be a need for accountants. So these are the main reasons why I got into accounting. And having that experience with the tribal council and provincial auditor allowed me to travel. It's allowed me to meet new people, and it's financially stable and allowed me to have that work-life balance. To become a financial clerk with the tribal council, you need your grade 12 diploma. To become an auditor with the provincial auditor of Saskatchewan, you need a university degree. To open up your own accounting firm or your own public practice, you need to have your chartered professional accounting designation. To obtain a CPA designation, you need to have your grade 12 diploma and a university degree before you can enroll in the program.